some of this stuff that's going on around the country, and you have the rise of some of these candidates who are basically communists. They want to eliminate the U.S. Senate, eliminate the Electoral College, do all these things, pack the U.S. Supreme Court. They want to cancel Thanksgiving. They want to do all these things. And there was a candidate in Wisconsin. She wrote she had to leave Culver's because there was too much proximity to whiteness because there were white people in the thing. And so, this is a really, really, I think, sick mind virus that's taken a part of our politics. And I think it's very, very dangerous.
What DeSantis is describing is more than a disagreement over individual policies. His argument is that ideas once considered extreme have moved into mainstream political debate, including proposals to abolish institutions, eliminate law enforcement, and fundamentally change the criminal justice system. But his strongest criticism is aimed at the idea that these positions can simply be dismissed as something that happened years ago.
Again, or something like that, like people were actually attacking law enforcement. They wanted to defund police. You did have candidates, and you still have candidates, who talk about abolishing prisons. Some of these DSA people, if you ask them, what do you do with no prisons? They start talking about social workers and stuff like that. You could ask the sheriff. I mean, if someone breaks into your house, sending a social worker is not going to help you. You need law enforcement. So this is there, but it was, that's just in the past. It's in the past.
The debate becomes especially important when public safety enters the picture. DeSantis argues that replacing traditional law enforcement with social workers cannot provide the same response when a violent crime occurs. His broader point is that voters should remember what political candidates actually supported, rather than allowing controversial positions to disappear simply because they became politically unpopular.
To fight back, and we fought back very quickly. But you got swept up in that frenzy. You don't just get to say, that was yesterday. Let's just move on. If you're embracing things like abolishing law enforcement and abolishing prisons, the reason why Florida, they just put out another report that ranked us the safest state in America, and we have a 50-year low in the crime rate. And I can tell you, we would not have a 50-year low in the crime rate if we had to release the people from prison. The reason why we do is because when you run afoul, you pay the price. And we make sure you're there where you got to serve your sentence. And that's been very good for public safety, and it's made a difference in people's lives.
DeSantis then connects the ideological debate directly to Florida's record on crime. He argues that strict enforcement, incarceration, and a strong law enforcement presence are central reasons for the state's public safety results. Whether viewers agree with that conclusion or not, this is the core of his political message. Florida chose a different path, and DeSantis wants voters to see that choice as a model for the rest of the country.
Really, really dangerous. And if you think back to those 2020, 21, 22, 23, when Florida was at the vanguard of turning the tide on that, you would have things like some kid would get accepted to college. And these wokesters would look at their social media history and find some offending statement when they were 14, then send it to the admission, and they'd get their admissions revoked over that. You would have corporate America. I mean, if you didn't toe that line, your chance of getting a position was zero. And that was kind of the intent of what they were trying to do. So there was a lot of people that got hurt by that. There was a lot of people that got marginalized by that ideology. In Florida, we said when it wasn't popular that the woke is going to go to die here. It ain't gonna go. And we were the first state to eliminate ESG in our pension system. These companies that wanted to impose this through the market. We also were the first to eliminate